We're here at one of the top neuroscience campuses in the world, UCSD in San Diego, exploring some of the cognitive biases that salespeople are running into on a daily basis. This is video number 3 of the series. Enjoy. Cognitive bias number 3 has to do with stress. Stress triggers the habit circuits of your prospect's mind. So what happens is when your prospects are overly anxious, this could be positive stress or it could be negative stress. What ends up happening is their habit pathways in their brain get triggered and stimulated. So what ends up happening is they end up less likely to be able to make new decisions, because the stronger the habit pathways are in the brain, the more concrete they are in their current ways of doing life and doing business. So one of the things you need to overcome as a salesperson is you need to manage the stress that your prospect is going through. If you don't manage the stress, they're going to be less likely to be able to make any new decision because their current reality gets further concreted, cemented into their mind. Now, one of the interesting parts about this particular cognitive bias as it relates to sales is, as a salesperson, we often like to get our prospects really excited about our product or service. One of the problems with that is if your sales prospects get too excited and you take them to too much of an emotional high, that ends up triggering a positive form of stress and even anxiety. So as a salesperson, we need to monitor how much stress and anxiety our sales prospect is experiencing at any point in time. So if they're getting overly excited, we need to take them down a notch. Otherwise, if they're too excited, what ends up happening is their excitement's going flying, and the next thing you know, their habit circuits are coming online because they're getting stressed, and they're less likely to see a new possibility. So you've probably seen this before. The more excited your prospect becomes, the more they see a picture in their mind, but then all of a sudden it starts to collapse. They get overwhelmed and they start to lose track of what is my logical next step. So as a salesperson, what do? If you notice your prospects starting to spike their emotions, they're starting to get a little too excited, you can start to pace it down a couple notches. You can say, "That's cool, I'm glad you're seeing how this can help you. Now, who in your company do you think may not be quite so interested in something like this just at first glance, on a first impression basis?" So at their moment of peak excitement, you try to take them down a couple of notches because we want to make them have a really sober excitement, not an overly enthusiastic, anxious type of an excitement. Now, that's the positive element of stress. If you have negative stress that your prospect is experiencing, you need to be able to manage that as well. So a couple of things you can do in a sales process is, let's say your prospect is really stressed out. They're stressed out, and that's why they're even talking to you in the first place, because they just have too much stress going on in their life and in their business, and your product or service is hopefully going to help them with that. Well, as a salesperson, you don't jump all over that problem. You make them feel heard. You can use even strategic pauses and help that prospect start to feel more calm energy coming from you as a salesperson. The more calming energy you can provide, the less likely it is that their stress habit circuits are going to begin to trigger. And as you make them more calm and relaxed and feel understood, you have a higher chance of them seeing new possibilities for their future and having more access to the creative parts of their brain that can realistically navigate the challenges that they need to navigate financially, organizationally, maybe even corporate politics, in order to make that change in their business. So keep in mind that stress is truly a deal breaker, not a deal maker. Excitement and overenthusiasm is a deal breaker, not a deal maker, and any negative anxiety obviously is as well. So in that sales process, you need to constantly be monitoring and be very in touch with your prospect's emotional state. Keep them sober, not too negative, not too positive, and enthusiastic about what you're doing, and you're far more likely to have them be truly excited and in a great place cognitively to actually buy and pursue your product or service. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to explore some technology that can offset some of the cognitive biases that your prospects are dealing with, click below. We'd love to show you a demo.